Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle, and today I want to review a Bible curriculum that we use in our household. I recently put up a video on why I tend to avoid Christian-based curriculum, so I thought it'd be a good idea to put out, what I actually use. And joining me today is my husband, Jacob. And for two reasons. One, I think having both parents' perspective on something is important. He also happens to be an ordained pastor, so I think he can help get some of that theological perspective as well. So this is what we use, and full disclosure, we use this in Sunday school. I didn't actually purchase this myself, but we use this in Sunday school. But I think it can definitely be adapted for home use or homeschooling use. So it's the Spark Story Bible. Now this one specifically is aimed for the younger kids, so mostly under age 5. And what I like about this, and they do carry different age group Bibles, but this is the one I'm most familiar with because as a Sunday school teacher, my kids are in this age group, so this is what I use. So I made a couple notes of the things I really like about this. First, it's designed by leaders from a variety of denominations, so you're not just getting one perspective in this. I'll give you guys a quick shot of the table of contents here. It has the Old Testament and New Testament stories. What I really like is the pictures for a couple of reasons. One, it's colorful. Kids really like that. Also, diversity. Notice how not everybody is the same skin color, which I really appreciate. So it's got really fun pictures. It's a great read aloud, so if it's something you would just want to put in your morning basket, I think that's really good. It comes with, when you read it, you do the sound effects and different things like that, so it's very engaging for children, and both my girls have really enjoyed that part. And the lessons are short. They're usually only a couple pages, maybe 1, 2. Some of the longer ones, see, that was one story right there. What it comes with at the end is a little star question too. Just a little question to ask something about the reading. And again, you could only just buy this. It's about $20, $21, and you could just do that. You could read a story, go over that question, and that could be it. Now, because we use this as a Sunday school curriculum, I also have access to different resources they have, such as leader guides and handouts, which can also be purchased separately from the site. So to give you an example of what that looks like, this is one of the handouts for one of the Bible stories. And it's just a front and back worksheet, comes with stickers, and again, I think this is something like $6 to get a pack of it, and it's for a specific season, right?
Yes, it's split up either by the liturgical year or
says right here.
There's also other rotations that it can work with too.
And one of the things I really like is that there's a lectionary series, so you can actually have it follow along with what the Sunday school readings are in church too, so your kids can follow along that way if you want to do it. So again, my kids really like the handouts, stickers, and there's usually some kind of craft they do on it. For the leader guides, and again, you can purchase these all separately. I think the leader guides are only like $10 for a pack. So it goes over the exact lesson. If you want a step-by-step of how to do something, how to talk about something, it is in these. I look through it and I kind of pick and choose what I use, and I always add my own kind of craft to it depending on the age group of kids I'm working with. But it does have that awesome resource. And of course, they have things like, because it's a Sunday school curriculum, it has family pages, different things you can do at home. And my kids also really enjoy the coloring pages, so those are fun. So I guess as a parent, those are the main reasons I like it. And again, they have an optional digital subscription service, which again, it's aimed more towards churches, so it's pricier. I think for the younger group, it's like $50. For 8 and up, it's $180 almost. But the nice thing about the digital subscription is it gives you access to different, over 20 different curriculums that you can use, such as Connect, Holy Moly, Whirl. Some come with videos. But all those things I just showed you, you have access to. And the one thing I don't like is you have to subscribe to a certain age level. So there's a subscription for the preschool, 5 and under. There's a subscription for children, which is 8 to 13. And then there's a subscription for what's considered youth, which I would guess would be teenagers.
Yeah, above the middle school, early to late high school.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I really don't like. With the subscription service, to get all those age groups, so if you have multiple age children in your home, you would have to do each separate subscription. But again, like I said, the subscription is not necessary. It does come with all these awesome resources. You can print at home all this stuff. You wouldn't have to buy the separate handouts. Comes with all the leader guides, all those things. And yeah, so from a theological perspective, Jay, why would you support this curriculum? Why do you think it's a good curriculum?
Well, I'm biased because I'm a pastor in a mainline denomination, and this is a denominational resource. So that kind of influences my view a large amount, and I think that's important that folks are aware of that, because I'm coming from a particular tradition, particular background that's...
Well, which is a good point. Why don't you explain what your background is?
Okay, well, I am ordained in the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. I have, from preschool through seminary, been in the Lutheran school system. So from preschool through high school, I was in the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod system, which is a parochial school system. And then from college through seminary, I was then in the ELCA schools, graduate of Carthage College in the Lutheran School of Theology at Chicago. And I think it's important too that folks are mindful that within the mainline denominational system, so you're talking about historic denominations such as the Lutheran Church, the Episcopal Church, United Methodist Church, Presbyterian Church USA. There's a strong emphasis on the educational part of that. So in order to get ordained within my denomination, as is the case with many mainline traditions, you have to have completed a college degree or equivalent.
So a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, a bachelor's degree. My bachelor's degree, I had a major in religious studies and world religions. And then from that, then I went into seminary and graduated with a Master's of Divinity, which is why I'm a big supporter of those folks that get those t-shirts that say, "Don't confuse my Master of Divinity with your Google search," because there is a difference.
So the point you're making is that we're well educated in the field, and not just necessarily Christianity. Like you said, in college you had a bachelor's degree, which also covered world religions. So he's coming from a place of a lot of education, which I think is beneficial, and I hope to review some things we've come across, homeschool curriculum that uses religious aspects to kind of give an opinion of both parental and a theological one, because I think that's really important. So one of the things I really like about this Bible is that from what I've read, and I've pretty much read all the stories over here, I've done Sunday school for about 5 years now, is that it promotes a loving God, which I appreciate, even when it's talking about difficult subjects like the crucifixion. It's handled very, very nicely. A lot of empathy in it. It's handled very nicely. It's very promoting a loving God. For example, last Sunday school, for the live Sunday school lesson, my children were asked, if you were going to tell anyone about Jesus, what would you say? And my 8-year-old said, I would tell him that Jesus loves everybody. Emphasis on everybody, which is something I'm really proud my children have learned, that Jesus loves everybody. My 4-year-old was asked the same question, and she said, Jesus is with us. So she understands that Jesus is with us through everything. So those are the main lessons my children have learned through this entire Sunday school year, which I'm proud of those lessons. I think those are wonderful lessons for them to take away from this. And I think the curriculum does a great job. It doesn't point fingers and say, these people are wrong for thinking this. It's very open, which I like.
Well, and from my perspective, it's also age appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, anyone who's cracked a Bible without really digging into context first is going to come across some stories where they're like, what in the world is going on? And that can, you know, shade and influence so many different things without having first dug into some of that. And I know that there are some different attempts that have been made at some of these things in the past.
But you don't think the way it's written, it takes away from the lesson that needs to be learned?
Well, I guess that it depends on again, going with the age appropriate thing. You can enter into a conversation about faith, about one's relationship with God, without necessarily having to get like full bore into really weighty topics. For example, I like the brick Bible stuff. I think it's neat that
the Lego.
Yeah. I think it's neat that folks have taken some of the Lego characters to do some of those things.
My 8-year-old does enjoy this.
However, I don't think it's age appropriate for especially younger folks, and honest to goodness, even for some adults. And the reason being is from my perspective, it seems like the folks that staged some of those Lego sets to tell the story were way more interested in telling it in a particular way than they were with making it accessible to younger folks. And sometimes you get some of these really painful, visceral stories that get enacted in the brick Bible that I don't think is necessarily helpful for one's faith development, especially if you're a younger person. I think that you can talk about the story of Cain and Abel without necessarily having a graphic depiction of somebody getting stoned.
And yeah, I mentioned that when they talked about the crucifixion of Jesus in here. It's handled very well, very age appropriate. And they're honest. They talk about how he was nailed to a cross. They don't glaze over that. They talk about how thorn crown and what that felt like. They don't glaze it, but it's done in an age-appropriate way. And I think that's one of the reasons they have the Bible split into age categories. For example, this is 5 and under, I think is aimed maybe first grade and under. And then next is 8 to 13. And then next is the teenagers. Now, I don't have experience with the older group. I'm sure I will as my children get older, but so far I've really liked this. And again, the curriculum I think is a great resource. Again, if you just want to buy this and read it to your kids, that's awesome. If you want to get the leader guides and the printouts, you can do that. They have a free subscription trial if you want to try the subscription service. But I think putting this out there that this is an option, this is a good option, this is, I guess I would say, a theologically sound option.
Yeah, the Spark Story Bible is put out by Spark House, which is an imprint of 1517 Media, and for those of you that follow some of those publishing house type things, it all used to be under the Augsburg Fortress umbrella before they reorganized. So there's a lot of peer review and things that go into a number of their resources. And again, they're geared for a particular age group and age range. You know, there may be an adult that would be really interested in
I've learned some stuff
plugging into the story Bible, but it is a story Bible. It is meant for younger kids to be able to have that interaction and between not just their younger peers, but also with an adult leader, facilitator, to help bring up some of those conversation topics.
Yeah. All right, so that is our review on this and what we use in our house. Now, if there's anything you guys would like to see us review or look at, leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to look into that. We do hope to put some more future videos out, like I said, of different things we come across and our opinions on that. But thank you for watching.